Albert Einstein, was a pretty smart guy. Most of his ideas have absolutely no idea what he was talking about. But one thing he said that definitely resonates is insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's pretty sharp. And it's a lesson that we find in this week's Torah portion. The Torah portion concluded with the story of Miriam speaking badly about her brother Moshe, for which she was punished. Next week's Torah portion starts with the story of the spies who came back with a negative report regarding the land of Israel. And the biblical commentator Rashi asks, what links these two stories? And he points out, Ra'u v'lo lakhu musar. With Miriam, the Jews saw what happens when you speak bad, and here they went and did it again in speaking about Israel. The worst mistake is not to make a mistake. The worst mistake is to make a mistake and not learn from it and to do it over again. Or as the popular idiom tells us, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I've been thinking about that in light of recent events in Israel. Israel went through a skirmish, a war, a battle, call it what you want, with Gaza for 5 days, with close to 1,000 rockets falling down on Israel. Israel, thank God, was able to defend itself and make a statement as well in the way it struck back. But what amazes me is how many people who supposedly are smart wrote things that Israel should learn from this, that it has to make peace with the Palestinians. This is no way to live, that it should allow for a two-state solution, give the Palestinians territory that they can have their own state and they won't bother us anymore. On the surface, the idea itself sounds crazy, doing something for nothing in return. What makes it really insane is the fact that this is just what Israel did in the past. That's just what Ariel Sharon did in 2005 when he gave all of Gaza back to the Palestinians, asking nothing in return. In the interest of the pursuit of peace, Ariel Sharon, who had been seen as the godfather of the settlements, announced he was going to uproot 8,000 Jews and give all of Gaza to the Palestinians. The first time the Palestinians were ever given any land by anyone. Now they would have the opportunity to show the world how capable they were of building a Palestinian state. And what did Sharon ask in return? Absolutely nothing. You remember what it was called? A unilateral disengagement. Do you remember what happened after that? The Israelis left. The Palestinians came in, took over Gaza, burnt down the synagogues, trashed and vandalized most of the hothouses where the Israelis had been growing produce and flowers for export. And instead of the Palestinians exporting flowers to Holland and food to Norway, they exported thousands of rockets and missiles into the land of Israel. And when Israel retaliates, Israel gets blamed. And now they're being asked to make the same mistake again, give up land from which rockets can reach Israel's major cities and airports. Lots of lessons we learned from the Gaza experience. To do the same thing now, a columnist in the Jerusalem Post called stupidity on steroids. It's not stupidity, it's insanity. It's insane to expect Israel to make the same mistake again. So that's the worst mistake of all. The recent death of Tina Turner was considered so important that it was on the front pages of newspapers across the country. She was an iconic rock and rhythm and blues singer, and she was memorable. But her life story is truly instructive. When I read that she had died, I thought back to a popular Jim Carrey movie called Liar, Liar, which has a few memorable lines, but the one which always struck with me was where he asks, where would Tina Turner be right now if she rolled over and said, hit me again, Ike? For those not in the know, let me tell you a little something about Ike and Tina Turner. Tina Turner's truly one of the all-time great entertainers, but she suffered through years of abuse from her husband, Ike Turner. Her career started with her marrying Ike and being the singer in his review. He claimed that he made possible everything that she is. We don't know about that, but what we do know is that Ike's complete dominance over her life finally became too much for Tina. And after an unsuccessful suicide attempt, she walked out on him in 1975 with nothing more than 36 cents and a gas station credit card and the bruises from living with Ike. On her own, she rose to stardom. Jim Carrey got it right in Liar, Liar when he said, where would Tina Turner be right now if she rolled over and said, hit me again, Ike? Yes, there has to come a time when we learn from our mistakes and not repeat them again. Warren Beatty, the actor, once said, I am not going to make the same mistake once. But of course, we all do make mistakes. Or more accurately, in reality, none of us actually makes the same mistake twice. The first time was a mistake. The second time was our choice. Choose wisely and have a good Shabbos.